All right, guys, I like these late Sunday evening surprises. I was actually streaming some Sims 4 a little bit ago, and Simply Savannah sent me a message. She's like, the new PK Devlog is out. And this one packs quite a punch. These nerds over at the PK Dev team definitely know kind of how to get us. They know how to get us pretty hyped. And so we will just start off. I will read through to you the Devlog number 36. We'll hit some of the highlights and talk about what gets us so excited about this game. I know I am going to definitely be covering it pretty extensively on the channel. Come March 19th, it seems like that is the official date they're pushing for early access and also for content creators to get their hands on it. So be thinking March 19th. Let's see, I'm going to have to actually take that day off for work. So what is that? That is a Friday. Cheeky little PK Devs giving me a 3-day weekend here. I am going to request that off tomorrow. I hope that doesn't jinx all of us, but that will be a dinosaur-filled 3-day weekend if they end up being able to stick to that timetable. But without further ado, let's get right into it. This is the February development update. With much anticipation, it's finally time to talk about alpha release plans and all the new content we've been working on behind the scenes. There's a lot of important information in this one, folks, so make sure you read it thoroughly, and then we'll go right on to alpha available March 19th. Don't forget, save the date. Explore the game's core system, creative systems, and basic economy management with a mix of challenge and sandbox mode features. So that's really cool. We are going to get our hands on sandbox mode inside the alpha. Get up close with the mighty Tyrannosaurus or the lovable Microraptor and design their habitats without environmental limits. The initial alpha release includes the following animals. Yes, guys, we are getting the Tyrannosaur.
Quiet, all of you. Approaching the Tyrannosaur paddock.
And we are getting the wonderful cheeky fellow in my thumbnail, the Edmontosaurus, the Lambeosaurus, the Strichosaurus, the Nasutoceratops, and the Microraptor, including alt skins or species. Very, very cool. Multi-level pathfinding. Use the modular system to create corridors, platforms, and ramps for your animals to navigate around. And then they kind of finish the little animal part up with the various behaviors. Animals can engage in a variety of basic behaviors like eating, drinking, grazing, resting, socializing, and broadcasting. Some animals will be updated to include absent behavior shortly after Alpha's release. Then they move on to one of the parts that I think you'll probably notice it. It's about 4 levels down on the creative release side of things. First, we have Terraforming. The Terraforming suite. Carve the terrain with 6 distinct tools: raise, lower, smooth, flatten, roughen, and erosion. Get your feet wet with up to 3 paintable water materials and varying depths. Number 2, 4 paintable biomes. Tropical, temperate, scrubland, and wetland are available to paint terrain and forests with. Use the brush intensity to create subtle and stylish gradients between textures to add some more realism to your park. I need that realism in my life. 13 structures. Bring your Prehistoric Kingdom to life with a select building from animal care, infrastructure, guest facilities, and enclosure categories. So definitely they will have some options in here for you guys that do not want to fool with the modular pieces. But here comes your old boy S-Dance part. 250 modular items will be available in the alpha. Get custom with over 250 modular items, pieces, and plants to build design to your own specificity. And also use the modern styling to pick from 7 wall textures and 5 roof designs. Then they go on to talk about paths and fences. Choose from 12 different fences and 7 path materials using an intuitive spline-based construction system. So definitely think Jurassic World Evolution. You'll be able to pull and drag your fences to your heart's content. Enable terraced fence placement to create a uniquely staggering look. So we're definitely interested in that. You will be able to kind of stack those down if you have like a big kind of like a hill enclosure going. So that'll be really, really cool. Saving and loading. Save your park and build it up over time. But as always, remember the nature of alpha. Save games will probably likely break upon entering beta and early access launch. So definitely don't get your heart's content set on these alpha builds. Most likely they will break and you will not be able to re-access them once we move on into beta. Due to more extensive development being required, some previously planned features like object wall recoloring and undo redo option will be unavailable until beta or early access. So don't forget that too. Don't get disheartened if you jump into alpha and notice there's not a back button. That is still being developed. So moving on to management, basic economy. Provide for supply and demand with guests, facilities, and attractions, offset the costs of construction, animal production, and building upkeep by turning a profit. Basic power management. Connect and power your park with basic power management. Failure and reboot mechanics have been disabled for alpha. Basic visitors. What's a park without guests to wander the paths? Additional animations, AI, enhanced model variation, and guest-related gameplay will be arriving in beta and early access. So like we said too, don't get discouraged. They may be walking around like some little zombies right now, but we will have some basic visitor interaction come March 19th. Important and additional info. Really important on this paragraph, guys. In terms of what you can expect for support during alpha, we're only looking to tackle stability issues and bug fixes. We'll be making note of player feedback and talking with the community the entire time, but any new or upcoming content we show in devlogs won't be available until beta or early access release unless explicitly stated. We're treating alpha and beta as distinct milestones so that we're not simultaneously implementing features and shipping them to a live branch without extensive internal testing or supporting content. By staggering additions between the two milestones, we're able to focus on feedback that's specific to what we have currently, other than diluting results. So kind of interesting to hear about that. For alpha backers who went through Kickstarter, we're currently establishing a reliable and automated distribution method to ensure contributors receive their key and other rewards in the future, and we'll have specifics available prior to alpha's release via a new news update. Regarding general availability, we will eventually be removing the alpha tier over on the Crytivo store. An announcement will be made specific when exactly that'll happen. Once purchased, there is no end date, guys, to alpha playtime. It's always accessible and will upgrade to the beta. So that's really, really cool. They're not talking like we'll just have a weekend or a week to play this. We will be able to bounce back and forth with this up until the upgrade to beta time. Alpha isn't the early access launch. Remember, that is arriving later in 2021, 2 months later. Now, we don't know how long the alpha will be, but hopefully, it won't be too long. Hopefully, we're not talking like fall 2021, but we'll just have to see. Screenshots, streams, and videos from alpha can be shared. Show us what you're making. We'd love to see it. So yeah, guys, that is basically it on the dev side of things. They said each part of the team has been creating, iterating, and implementing a bunch of things so that they're ready in time. Both planar reflections and water shading continue to be improved, while a whole bunch of audio has been implemented too, including an overall set of UI sounds. One of the really interesting parts on the devlog, the modular pathfinding they've showed us. It said, with much excitement, we're pleased to say that animals are now able to navigate modular buildings. This is a huge deal for us, as we weren't sure if it was something we'd be able to do. Huge shout out to one of our programmers, Matt. Creatures can successfully walk around walls and utilize both ramps and platforms if the space is big enough. We really wanted a level of interaction between modular pieces and our creatures, so to finally see that come to fruition through pathfinding is simply fan-freaking-tastic. And they actually added a bunch of new audio as far as the Edmontosaurus goes as well. Sound found its way to our vocalization behaviors early in February, adding audio to the social call, response, SAD, and broadcast calls. We've created a short video showcase demonstrating the new animations for our Edmontosaurus. And they'll link that, they've got that linked in the devlog as well. Foliage Showcase, the field elm, oak, and sable palmetto were added to the temperate and scrubland biomes to introduce more versatility. We're especially fond of the new palmetto. It's great for honing in that prehistoric look. I am absolutely, though, in love with that field elm. When you guys, that exposed bark, that is exactly what I was hoping for. Very, very cool. They'll have 3 size variants of the sable palmetto as well. The textures on those look really, really awesome. the building showcase. Throughout February, we began implementing high-quality custom wall and roof materials to replace our previous modern texture set. Moving to a more advanced workflow, both in implementation and asset creation, this has allowed us to bring out a greater level of detail with a minimal performance trade-off, increasing texture resolution by over 2 times. Very, very cool. We will have hay beds. All animals need a place to sleep, and there's no comfier spot than a hay bed. These items are used to define custom resting spots with a habitat or modular build. Then we're going to move on to the fences. Though the weakest of the bunch, glass fences are a stylish way to increase habitat visibility. They come in 1, 2.5, and 4 meter heights, making them the ideal window to another world. Concrete fences, we'll have those, and bringing up the total to 12 types. That's all the modern fences for now. There are a few wall variants and new materials that we'd like to add down the line, but for the time being, we're quite content with the core lineup of 12. Brachiosaurus is one of the biggest dinosaurs coming in early access. With its neck fully raised, this gentle giant was almost 14 meters tall, a necessary adaptation for browsing trees. Very, very awesome. And then they show us some awesome shots as far as what the community's been up to as well. Some of the early backers, the foundation backers and stuff that have had their hands on the game this last month or so. So they said basically make sure you follow all our social platforms to stay up to date with all things Prehistoric Kingdom. Remember, March 19th is the big day for our alpha release. We look forward to seeing what everyone comes up with, and I'll leave you with that as well. Don't forget to follow SDan on all my social platforms, at SDanWolf on everything. We will be covering Prehistoric Kingdom as extensively as possible. I feel we're definitely going to be eating, breathing, and sleeping this game when it comes out. I cannot wait to get my hands on these terrain tools and see what I'm able to come up with some of this rock work and some of these lagoon designs that I have thought out. But other than that, guys, I will go ahead and let you go. And don't forget to follow my socials throughout this week and the coming weeks as we lead up to early access. I'm glad we have a concrete date now, and I look forward to jumping in here and showing you guys some awesome gameplay. Don't forget to smash the like button if you end up enjoying this video, and subscribe to keep up with more Prehistoric Kingdom mischief, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you. See you guys.